surface layer that's usually glued onto a chipboard base to create a worktop. Laminate is by far the most affordable worktop material on the market. It comes in endless choices of colours and patterns, from solids to simulated wood or granite. Laminate is used for kitchen cabinets, furniture and work surfaces. Fast food restaurant seating can also be manufactured out of a thicker solid form of the material called compact laminate. The back of a laminate sheet is made of a type of craft paper that can be saturated without becoming soggy and tearing. A treater drenches it with resin containing phenol, a compound derived from benzene. The resin doesn't merely coat the paper, it absorbs right through. The paper then enters a drying oven. The hot air cures the resin in a matter of seconds. Now the paper can be wound onto a roll. The top of the laminate is called the decorative layer. It's a sheet of paper in either a printed design or a solid colour. Solid colour papers go through a treater that impregnates them with a more durable melamine resin. Durability is essential because the decorative layer must withstand wear and tear. Two rollers wring out the excess resin. Then the saturated paper goes through a drying oven. With the resin now cured, a cutter slices the paper into sheets. Before resin treatment, the paper was flexible and easy to tear. Now it's stiff and brittle. Bend it, it snaps. While the rolls of saturated craft paper get cut into sheets, workers prepare the other style of decorative layers, those with printed designs, such as simulated wood grains and granite. The treatment process for these papers is different for that of the solid coloured papers. Workers start by cutting them into sheets the same length as the craft paper. These papers don't go into a treater to be saturated with resin. Instead, workers stack them, placing an overlay on each one. An overlay is a transparent sheet of paper that's saturated with melamine resin. Workers stack the solid colour sheets in the same pile, but those don't need overlays because they've already been resin saturated. Now the stack goes to the press room. There, workers put saturated craft paper under each decorative layer. On top of each decorative layer, they lay a textured plate. This will prevent the finished laminates from sticking together. Everything now goes into a press. The intense heat and pressure compresses the layers. The overlays bond to the printed papers, and the saturated craft paper bonds to each decorative layer, creating laminated sheets. The textured plates between each set, meanwhile, imprint their pattern onto the heat-softened resin, texturing the laminate surface. The laminates come out of the press fully cured. On the finishing line, machines trim off any excess paper on the edges and sand the back of the sheets. This helps the laminate adhere better when glued to chipboard or other surfaces. To produce compact laminates, workers compile a thick stack of black saturated craft papers and sandwich it between two decorative layers. The press melts and bonds all the sheets into a solid unit. Alternating colours produces a striped edge. Compact laminates are so thick they're entirely self-supporting, so they can be built straight away into any desired form.